Welcome back to the workshop, everybody. I've got my good buddy, Mr. Rub here. Say hi, Rub. Come here. Come in the camera. Say hi. Mr. Rub and I were wondering what it takes to make shavings like this. Rub, are you going to be in the way the whole time? Yeah, I know. You're a good kitty. So, I was trying to figure out some angles for plane blades. See all the different shavings you get? I wonder how many of us take for granted the tools that we use. Okay? Simple hand plane. Nothing fancy. Simple chisel. But you ever wonder how we got to where we are? How did we get to the technology that we accept today and we do not question? What happens if I use the chisel bevel up versus bevel down? What if I skew it as opposed to coming at it square on? I'm sorry, it's pretty doggone amazing where we have come. This is a massively thick shaving I took off with the chisel. Almost every one of these shavings here was taken off with the chisel. So what is a plane other than, ooh, there's a nice one. What is a plane other than a chisel held in a body at a fixed angle and with a straight edge? Me think about it. Before the advent of the hand plane, all they had were knives, maybe some chisels or axes or adze. They did not have planes. How did we get to where we are today? There is a tool in Japanese woodworking, and I may not know the name, but I know what it looks like. It looks like a spear that's been curved and sharpened on two sides. That was the first of what we could consider a hand plane. It basically would create these shavings similar to this, what I'm doing here. And they would go all along the temple beams that they were, posts and beams that they were preparing for building temples. And they would use those to take off any imperfections. That's a nice one. And by the way, there is a plane called a spill plane that all it does is makes shavings similar to this, a little different. They're tighter, they're almost like a stick when they're done. And they were used to take fire from the hearth to a lantern or a candle. But it's pretty amazing what you can do with just a chisel. And then someone came up with the idea of putting the blade in a body. And all of a sudden we have the hand plane. And still, people in the woodworking world today do not appreciate the simple hand plane, nor know how to use it. How much we take for granted that we use today. I don't know, I was just kind of fooling around here and just got to thinking, how many of our tools do we actually take for granted? Because I'm in the process, as some of you know, of reducing the amount of tools that I have, and I mean, I've got to get rid of like 90% of my stuff in order to fit in a new shop. And I've held off doing that. I wanted it done by September 1st. But I've noticed that the wood is drying out, the wooden floor. So what I'm going to do is wait just a little longer. I hate to actually do it as the weather gets cold. See, now that's a thicker, that's like a unicorn horn. I hate to wait until the weather gets cold, but as it gets colder, it gets drier. As it gets drier, the wood shrinks, and so I can lift the floor and nail it down. So, I was just pondering tonight, nothing earth-shattering here, just some thoughts as to how much we take for granted our woodworking technology. I mean, just the simple fact that we can pick up a hand plane and make a straight edge. When before the time of the hand plane, they would have to scribe a line and then take some sort of a sharp edge and just pare away wood until they reach that edge. Sometimes it'd be thick like this. Okay? Sometimes they would be working bevel up, sometimes they'd be working bevel down. What, Mr. Rubb? And then they invented the hand plane, which is just, I don't know. People say they don't understand hand planes. It's such a brilliant tool compared to what we had before. I mean, could you imagine just having a knife, just a knife, and trying to flatten out and straighten wood. Oh, one little slice at a time, over and over again. It works. It works brilliantly, actually. Because you can take off just what you need where you want to take it off. See that? You can do it. But then over time, they realized, what if we took that chisel and we held it in a body? I wonder. Let's try something. I don't know if it'll fit, but we'll try it. We'll take the plain blade out. We'll put the chisel in, and we'll wedge it. May not fit. We'll try it. I mean, can you imagine? Could you imagine their first surprise after taking a chisel and putting it in some sort of block of wood? I mean, look at that. It's a chisel and a block of wood. And it's planing. And that was thousands of years ago. Isn't that something? Isn't that a hoot and a half? Well, there you go, everybody. Chisel and a block of wood. That's what a plane is. Hey, listen. If you found this interesting, informative, or entertaining, give it the thumbs up. I hope you're subscribed. If not, go ahead and subscribe. Head out to your shop. Go make some shavings. Walter out.